Hello everyone, Kenty Tiger here with Bengali Engineering and Play. We are still in Space Engineers. We're kind of continuing on building our little, I'm calling this a temporary base, but I think actually it's going to end up being probably like a multi-utility kind of a vessel. So anyway, we left off in the last episode of finishing up these two assemblers, and what I want to do is get these speed modules onto them. And then once the speed modules are entirely on, then I will disassemble the other. Well, I guess I could really disassemble that one now, huh? So there's speed and speed. Okay, so let's see what we're gonna need to complete these. So steel plate, construction components, large steel tube, small steel tube, and motors. Alright, so bunch of steel plate. So, production. So in this case we have assembler 1 going, assembler 2, so let me do cooperative mode. This is assembler 1 and assembler 2. So, having renamed those, then get a lot of things queuing up here. So we need large steel tubes, small steel tubes, interior plate, girders, glass, and motors. So we'll get a lot of stuff going there. Inventory, oops, you know what, control panel production, and let's start queuing up a lot of the same things here. In fact, let's put small steel tubes in the front there because we have large steel tubes going on the other one. Alright. Construction components. So let's go ahead and take a couple of those. Pull up inventory and large steel tubes. Alright. So I do still need small steel tubes, but steel plate. So I suppose getting large steel tubes and small steel tubes all taken care of here, then this might be a good thing. Alright. So we still need steel plates, construction components, all that sort of razzmatazz. Get these. So construction components and small steel tubes. So steel plates. plates. Large steel tubes. We do need small steel tubes. Alright. One. That'll be 2 done. Go to this one. Oops, missing steel plate. At least we got all the large steel tubes and small steel tubes put in there. Oops, ran out of large steel tubes. Alright. Plate. Steel plate. So 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. I think the top 2 were also 100%. Yeah, 100%, 100%. That just leaves these guys. And steel plate and construction components, of course. Might not have any more steel plate. I might have run out. Yep. Yep. Production. Let's go to steel plate and put these in the front. Not even sure how many of these I'm gonna need. So I need 30 more, well, 24 more. Plus 80. Awesome. All right. So inventory. display and pipe. All right. All right, so with that, pretty much done. Let me check inventory one more time. Yep. So we'll go ahead and tear this guy apart. So now we have two others that are in service. So we do need to put a reactor. In fact, I want to put two reactors, one here, one here. So that's the next project, and then we will put probably off the end of this reactor, put two gas generators. So I think that will be reasonable. 2 and 2. I'm always into the 2 and 2 because I like to have a primary and backup, or if they're both running online, then okay. So assembler, we're done. Speed module, we'll go ahead and keep the conveyor and keep the large cargo container because we are going to do some more there. So in this case, a small reactor. So we have 15 megawatts available from a small reactor. So the question is, I think we have 300 megawatts available from a large reactor. So the question is, do we put a large reactor? Obviously, we're talking about a shit ton of reactor components. So don't know. I'm thinking maybe we'll stick with small reactors for right now, just because. All right. So the other question is to put those to the center or to put them to the outside. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put these to the center just because. So small reactor there. And then small reactor here that's facing the opposite direction. Yep. All right. Now, I don't have any large, I don't have any reactor components, so we're definitely going to, oh, I can't go into that, but I can go into this. So inventory, reactor components. We're going to have to do production and then reactor components. Reactor components. We'll queue 1,000 for now. And the reason I say that is because we're gonna eventually need those. Alright, for some reason this is not letting me move this around. Okay. Couldn't begin to explain that one. So a lot of building a larger vessel or something like that, a base or whatever, is really just time. You know, once you have all the basic equipment in place, which in this case is refineries, so I can take the raw material, turn them into usable materials, and then in this case, 2 assemblers, then you're doing pretty good. Don't know if there's a whole lot more that we can really do. So the next question is, this is more in terms of what all do I want to do. So what I'm thinking, and what I think I want to do here, and maybe I put these reactors the wrong way. So facing them forward, let's call this forward for a moment. Facing them forward would be kind of silly. Facing them here may be just as silly. What I'm thinking is two gas generators here. And the reason I'm thinking put them in the center is there's room. There's space for them there. So I really think this would be an ideal place. Now, one of the downsides right now, and maybe I should remedy that by way of, in fact, we'll go ahead and do that. So, interior plate, of course I do. Inventory, interior plate. So, for the most part, if you have interior plate and regular plate, you're going to be able to start constructing most anything. So let's, here's the plan. What I want to do while I'm working on these other things is just to make sure I have what I need here. So, so construction components, which we do need, so we'll go ahead and take a spattering of those. I need small tubes and large tubes. So small tubes, display, motors. So the idea here is I want to interconnect these, which means these 2 refineries can remain in operation. I don't want to take these refineries out of operation by disconnecting these. So. All right, and then I'm going to take these guys, we'll flip that over. The question is, do we want to see the display forward or aft? So I'm going to put there and there. Then I just have to figure out what I want to do here. So in this case, I'm going to move these guys to, which is really to say rotate these guys to the outside. Now, I may not need them to the outside, but alright, so that one is now to the outside, and this one now to the outside. Alright, and then we'll see what we need here. Steel plate, large steel tube. Steel plate, large steel tube. Yep. Alright.
Energy critical.
Energy is critically low. One of the downsides here is I just cut off my an alternative inventory port. So what I have to do is kind of go over here. Large steel tube, which I didn't need very many. So we're going to pull in 10 of those. I don't know what's happening there, but and steel plate. The other thing that I want to do here, which I think the world will let me because scripts are scripts, is get ISI, which is the inventory manager, in operation here. The figuring out how to do that. So I have some gaps over here, so I'm going to go ahead and put in computers. I don't think I need any more of those, at least for the interim. Alright, so oh, I can't put them there. Whoa. Alright, so we're going to put computer and computer. Ultimately, we'll put another one on this side. I'm going to go ahead, I want to put two more assemblers in. And that just will give me maximum flexibility in terms of really what I want to do. So I just need some computers here, so alright, so I need 4 computers. We'll reach into this here, find some computers. So these first two, what I'm going to do with these, program block, I always rename these, is LCDs. In this case, this already belongs to me, which is when you're in, true survival mode. When you build something, it automatically belongs to you. So in this case, it's Browse Workshop. This is automatic LCDs 2, and OK. We're going to check code, and then OK. And remember, the next one here is OK. Also program block, and this is ISI, Inventory Manager. Edit, Browse Workshop, ISI's Inventory Manager, and OK. The first couple things that we want to do, or that I always do, is change this to a ridiculous number. So whoops, 250. Okay, so we're not going to go quite as ridiculous, but so it's going to default to this amount, and I think it will balance otherwise. Put uranium into reactors that are turned off. False. Balance. Okay, yeah. So it's going to balance everything. All right. Yes, I goofed that one up. All right. So we'll straighten all this out eventually. All right, so we're probably going to move some things around, but in the interim, what I need is LCDs. So LCD 1, LCD 2, and then third LCD and fourth LCD. Okay, so let me see what I need to make these. So construction components, computer display, interior plate, which I've already done. So construction components, computers, displays, and bulletproof glass. Speaking of bulletproof glass, let me go down here and make sure that I actually got bulletproof glass in here, because I don't think I did. I never did. Oops. All right. So that was an oops. I'm glad I eventually remembered that one. Bulletproof glass, which I think we started queuing some bulletproof glass. Displays. I'm not sure why it's putting them into there, but so computers, displays, bulletproof glass. Okay, the reactors are not done yet. All right. gotta remember what these are. So edit, auto crafting. So C. So this becomes LCD auto crafting 1. This becomes LCD auto crafting 2. This becomes which is IIM. So what this does, this is the actual inventory manager display that's basically telling me what's going on. So the problems are this cargo container is not connected. This one is, and eventually we'll get everything moved over there. The idea, or ultimately what I would like to do, is have 4 cargo containers. So this is going to be one. I'm going to move this one, and then there'll be 2 more here. So that's the plan. Now, the nice thing about Izzy, which is why I really wanted to get Izzy on here, is so this is. All right. Did not want this thing to. So edit. Auto disassembling false. D24, which is couldn't begin to explain that one. Alright, bulletproof glass. I'm gonna grab a tool, which is to say I have a graphic of this, which lets me bulletproof glass, and this is 12,000. All right. Canvas. Let's go canvas 300 just because, or maybe computers. 6,500 construction components. 50,000. Yep. Detector is going to be about 400. Display. A lot of things use displays. Girders. $3,500 gravity generators. Is 250. Hydrogen bottle is going to go to 25. Just because interior plate is going to be a lot. Interior plate is 55,000. Large tube 6,000. Metal grid 15,500. Motor 16,000. NATO. Oxygen bottle is also going to be a 25. Power cells. Power cells, 2.8. Okay, 2800. Radio communication, I think, is 400. Oop, 250. That should be fine. Reactor components. Small steel tube is a whole bunch. 26,000. And steel plate is 300,000, not 3 million. Oops, I had it right. And thruster components, 16,000. All right, so we'll. Okay, so you see all these change to Qs. So these are throwing all of these into the assemblers, and then they'll start moving things around. Now, we're going to run out of room really, really quickly. So I need to get on the ball and start doing some other stuff. All right, so one of the things I need to do here is figure out where my reactors are. So, steel plate, construction, metal grid, large steel tubes. Steel plate, construction, metal grid, large steel tubes. Let me make sure all these are okay. Steel plate, construction components. Inventory. I got those. So metal grid. Why can I not move things around? Oh, can't fit any more in there. All right, so container. Computers, motors, displays, small. Bulletproof glass and Tools, ammo. All right. Now, Issy's going to freak out, mostly because I've got a lot of things going into that one container. So once I get the other container online, then everything will straighten out a little bit. But in the meantime, all right. So I need a speed module. We'll take that small reactor. I do still need that. Assembler. All right. So 9. In this case, I need steel plate. Of course I do. So if all is well, then let me in fact look at the refineries. Yeah, so you see all 4 refineries are running now, and Issy is actually managing stuff here. So sometimes the priorities don't make any sense, but in the end, Issy is managing what's going in and out of those, which is exactly what I want. That's why I put the inventory manager on there. There's 2 generators here. And one of the other things, so the gas generator here is going to go away. So as soon as, so we'll call this temp. This reactor we're going to call temp, just so we know what that one is. Obviously we can't take that one offline until we get the other one online. So the challenges as they are. Okay, so steel plate I think I was after, and I got sidetracked. So steel plate. Shift. So I'm thinking nanite control factory. Hideously expensive, but actually does some really neat things. So what I do have to do is get I have to get these things online here. So so what this is going to be is a conveyor and then an elbow, and I will have the same thing on the other side. And then there'll be a connector in between, not connector, but conveyor. Alright, so construction components, small steel tube, and motors. Construction components, small steel tube, and motors. Alright. I can't get anything through there.
Energy low.
Energy is low. Life support shall fail. Alright, so the good news here is getting these two put in will actually connect, will connect this container in. So this container was not connected before. Now it is. Need to go into K, program. I want to see, in this case, ISI. So we have ore, ingots, and bottles. Okay, so what I want to do is dedicate a container to ore and ingots. I think that's a pretty wise thing to do. So components, tools, ammo, and bottles. And I'm going to go ahead and change this one's name to, so tools, ammo, bottles, components. And then, sorry, we'll go back in, container, and we're going to change this one to specifically ore and ingots. So we'll take out tools and ammo. So that should just say now ore and ingots. Ore and ingots, yep. Now, because we've redesignated those, then ISI now is going to move things appropriately. Yes, so we see we have components, all that kind of thing are now in this. So tools, ammos, bottles, and components. In this case, I don't have any ammo yet, but we will eventually have that. Well, we have some, very, very little. Okay, so the joys of an inventory manager. All right, so what I want to do, 9, is 1, 2, 2. Then we have an assembler. So assembler and assembler, and then 9, which will be here, here, and spin this. Should be there, yes, that, and that. Okay, I'm gonna put 2 more computers in here. Now I may or may not need them. but I'm going to go ahead and put them in here anyway. All right. Okay, so I have that connected again, which means I can get rid of this.
Energy critical.
Oh, darn it. Capture these before they float away. Construction components, and those guys are zooming away. All right. Construction components. All right. I would really like to I'm going to move these again. And we're going to put them here. Kind of arbitrary, but I think I'm going to face, yeah, that up. There we go. All right. So we're going to put another container here, right there. We're going to start moving a few things around.
No energy.
Darn it. missing is the reactor components, and I think I've got those queued. So we'll get this as far as we can, and then do this one. Alright, and then I need 200 reactor components. I should be able to grab them through here, provided we actually have so production. Alright, so that may take power cells. So I could make another battery, which is good because unfortunately you lose the power cells that are in a battery. I think that's really, really stupid, but okay, so plans. So this is the last, so I want 4 containers up here. So what's forward here, and this is where things are going to get a little bit, I want to say a little dicey. I want to put a I want to put a nanite control factory up here. So what I need to do 5 is actually put a conveyor here. So small steel tube and motor, right? Oops, right there. All right, so small steel tube and motors. Okay, now we'll use this as the mount point. Now here's the trick. I have to move these. So I gotta move those. That's gonna, I knew those were gonna just be temporary, but okay, so let's go. Here's nanite control factory, and there we go. Eventually, well, okay. First things first. So that's the display, which I want aft. Okay. Woohoo. Alright. So, this is pricey, as you can see here. So superconductor conduits is really where it totally kills you. So interior plate construction component. So let's start putting these in. Interior plate construction component, metal grid, large steel tubes. Plate, steel grid, construction component, interior. Oh, not gonna let me do that. It's gonna take a while. Interior plate, construction components. All right, metal grid, power cells. I need power cells. Interior plate construction components. So let's focus on those two. Inventory component. Interior plate and construction component. Large steel tube. So we're still construction components. All right. Large steel tube detector. So I need 20. Take all the detector motors. Displays, computers. Steel plate. Steel plate, interior plate. Okay, so superconductors are going to be a challenge. Gravity components are going to be a challenge. All right. guess I gotta go get some gold. So we're gonna call this base entrance, just because I'm getting lost on trying to figure out where the heck that thing is. So delete. All right. So miner. So one of the things we do need to do with the miner now that we've actually completed it, surprise, surprise. So we'll delete that out of the blueprints. Climb in here. T, we can unlock. T to get out. Control B for blueprint. We'll put that back in, which now it is. Back in, and we'll head off to the gold. So V, I want to change a little bit. So base entrance, zoom on out. And once we get to somewhat of a stop, then what I really want to do is find the one with gold. So there's silver, there's gold. All right, so I don't think I had one closer. I think that was the only one with gold. But let's check. Is there any others with gold? Nope, just the one. So what I think I'm going to attempt to do is pick up about half in gold and half in platinum. So I'll go find one of the platinum deposits and grab some platinum, because I think that will be well, or just come back and get another one. Maybe we'll do that. Moving all over the place here. Little guy actually has quite a bit of room if you consider the cockpit and the connector. So we have 50K of gold already, and we have not actually started to fill our drills yet. There we go. Now we're filling the drills. I think I'm going to go to 100,000 in gold, which I'm pretty much already there, and then back off and get back off and look for a platinum. What I don't want to do is hit something. Up and out. Better. And then we'll fill up on platinum. Alright, so let me orbit. Iron and platinum, there's one. Is there a closer one? Iron and platinum, 1.38 and 1.48. Okay, so this one's closer by a little bit. A little rubber banding there. Oh! So I'm not sure where on this asteroid the platinum is, but I thought it was somewhere close here. Oh, oh no! Alright. This asteroid is awful shiny here, but platinum. Well, I'm gonna be taking in a bit of stone, but we'll get rid of that. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Indestructible stone, apparently. Alright, so, so I can no longer get out of T. Alright. I guess at this point I'm gonna have to reload because Space Engineers is just beyond fucked up. So I can't get out of anything. I can't drill. So I guess this is where I break. So this is Kenty Tiger signing off. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.